How did life on Earth begin? How did a planet full of lifeless chemicals transform into a world teeming with plants, animals, and humans? The answer lies in chemical reactions, fundamental processes that turned simple molecules into the building blocks of life. Welcome to Großdenken, my friends. In this video, we'll explore how chemical reactions created life, step by step, from the very first spark of organic chemistry to the complex cells that define life today. This isn't science fiction, it's science fact. Please support this channel by just subscribing. That would mean a great help. Before we dive into how life began, let's first understand what a chemical reaction is. A chemical reaction happens when molecules interact, breaking and forming new bonds to create different substances. For example, when hydrogen and oxygen combine, they form water. Life itself is built on chemical reactions. Every process in a living organism, like breathing, digesting food, or even thinking, is the result of countless chemical reactions working together. But how did these reactions lead to life? To understand how life began, we need to go back about 4 billion years, to a time when Earth was a very different place. Our planet was hot, with intense volcanic activity, lightning storms, and a thick atmosphere filled with gases like methane, ammonia, carbon dioxide, and water vapor. There was no oxygen like we have today. This environment created what scientists call the primordial soup, a mixture of chemicals that served as the raw materials for life. Energy from lightning, UV radiation, and volcanic heat sparked chemical reactions in this soup, creating organic molecules, the building blocks of life. So, what are these building blocks of life? Amino acids. These molecules combine to form proteins, which are essential for structure and function in living organisms. Nucleotides. These are the building blocks of DNA and RNA, the molecules that store and transmit genetic information. Lipids. These form membranes that protect and organize cells. In 1953, scientists Stanley Miller and Miller-Urey conducted a famous experiment simulating Earth's early conditions. They found that simple gases, when exposed to energy, could form amino acids. This was a groundbreaking discovery. It showed that life's building blocks could form naturally through chemical reactions. Creating the building blocks was only the first step. The next challenge was how these molecules organized themselves into something more complex. One key breakthrough in the origin of life was the formation of self-replicating molecules. Scientists believe that RNA, a simpler cousin of DNA, was one of the first molecules capable of storing information and replicating itself. RNA molecules could catalyze their own replication, making copies of themselves through chemical reactions. This self-replication is a critical property of life. It's how organisms grow, reproduce, and pass on traits. But how did these molecules become organized into something resembling a living cell? The answer lies in protocells, simple cell-like structures that formed from lipids. Lipids naturally form membranes when in water, creating these tiny bubbles that can trap molecules inside. When self-replicating RNA molecules became enclosed in these membranes, they formed a primitive version of a cell. These protocells could actually grow and divide, driven by chemical reactions, laying the foundation for the first living organisms. Once protocells formed, the process of evolution took over. Over millions of years, random mutations and natural selection led to the development of more complex structures. Single-celled organisms like bacteria eventually evolved into multicellular organisms, forming the diversity of life we see today. All of this was driven by the same principle: chemical reactions, creating and organizing matter into increasingly complex forms. Understanding how chemical reactions created life has, honestly, some pretty profound implications. It helps us answer fundamental questions like, are we alone in the universe? If life arose through chemistry on Earth, it could also happen on other planets. How can we create synthetic life? Scientists are already working on building artificial cells in the lab, which could revolutionize medicine, energy, and technology. The study of life's origins also reminds us that life is deeply connected to the chemistry of our planet. By understanding these chemical processes, we gain a better appreciation of the delicate balance that sustains life. Life, as complex and diverse as it is, began with simple chemical reactions billions of years ago. From the primordial soup to self-replicating molecules and protocells, chemistry laid the foundation for biology. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the origins of life. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. What do you think is the most fascinating part of how life began?